booktubers and YouTubers, my name is Michelle from Bookie Books and this is my lovely fabulous cupboard under my stairs. It is time for the October wrap-up! All the books I've read this month. I have read a total of 9.5-ish books this month. Quite a lot of books for me for 1 month, considering I've had work and children and life. I did try to sell my child this month so I can fit in more reading, but nobody wanted him. So 10 books is pretty good. So let's just get started because it is a lot of books. I don't want to keep you guys. So the first book I read this month, I will pre-warn you, it has been a bit of a Holly Black month. I love her. This newfound amazing author which I've just found. I love her, but I have read quite a few of her books this month. Okay, so I've read Holly Black, Dull Bones. This is a children's story that I wouldn't read to my child. It is creepy and scary. It's about a group of children that are quite young. They're like 14, 15, and they have a doll, and the doll comes to life in one of their dreams and tells them they need to take her back to and bury her, otherwise she will haunt them. It is a creepy story. A good story, a creepy story. The book has loads of lovely little illustrations in it. If you're thinking about reading this to your child, I wouldn't. Because it is a creepy story. It is a coming of age story. The children kind of need to grow up and get rid of their toys and their childish habits. And this is what the story's about. It's a good story, good book. Wouldn't read it to your young child. They will get nightmares. Then I read The Coldest Girl in Town. Holly Black again. This book was amazing. It's about vampires, which I didn't know. So I was surprised I was a bit vampire out with the whole Twilight stuff, but it was amazing. I loved it. You follow a girl called Tanya. She wakes up one morning and she is in the bathtub in a friend's house because she went to a party one night. And she wakes up in the morning thinking the party's over. The house is really quiet. She must have passed out in the bathtub. So she gets up, she goes downstairs. Everybody in that house that was at that party are now dead. They're on the floor, there's blood everywhere, they are dead. She's thinking why and how. So she goes, I need to get out of there, quick. She goes into her bedroom to grab her keys. She opens up the bedroom door. Her ex-boyfriend is tied to the bed, passed out, and a young vampire is pinned up on the wall. Why are they there and why are they not dead? You need to read the book to find out. I gave this book 5 stars. I would have given it 6 if I was allowed. I loved it. Keeping the game with the Holly Black. I did warn you guys. I read Tiff. I didn't enjoy this book as much as I thought I would. I don't think I'm going to move on to the second, but I think it's because it's a fairy book. And I'm never that keen on fairy books. The writing style was brilliant. You follow a young girl called Kaya, and she doesn't know that she's a fairy. And she gets kind of put in situations that she shouldn't quite be in. And then she finds out she's a fairy and loads of other stuff happens. It was a good read. I'm not going to read the second one because it didn't interest me enough to read the second one, which was a shame. And then the last Holly Black, I promise you guys, it's the last Holly Black book I read, is The Poison Eaters. This is a book of short stories. This was written before all of the other books came out. Before The Coldest Girl in Town. But you have short stories like one from The Coldest Girl in Town. And it's so good. The short stories in this are so good. It is a bit like reading the Brothers Grimm and those kind of fairy tales. Holly Black does fairy tales really, really well. Just want to find you the last bit, excuse me, of this book. Okay, listen to this. It says, my name is Matilda Green. I was born on April the 10th, 1997. I died on September the 3rd, 2013. Please tell my mother I'm okay and Dad that if she's watching this, I'm sorry. You've probably seen a lot of video feeds from inside Cold Down. I saw them too. Pictures of young girls and boys grinding together in clubs or bleeding ethically for their celebrity vampire masters. Here is what you never see. What I'm going to show you. For 88 days, you're going to watch someone sweat out their infection. You're going to watch her beg and scream and cry. You're going to watch her throw up food and piss her pants and pass out. You're going to watch her feed her can after can of corn. It's not going to be pretty. You're going to watch me too. I'm the kind of vampire that you want to be. One that is new and is basically out of control. I've already killed someone and I can't guarantee I'm not going to do it again. I'm the one who infected this girl. This is the real Cold Town. I am the real Cold Town. You still want in? And then the story finishes. Such a good book. I would give this book 6 stars if I could. Loads of quick short stories, easy read. Love it. You need to read this book. Then I read The Rest of Us Just Live There by Patrick Ness. This is taken from a point of view of, how to explain it. If Harry Potter was in school and he's got his little great close friends around him and you know that there's something going on, you would be in Harry Potter's class watching. So this is taken from the point of view from people that aren't actually in the centre of whatever apocalypse is going on. So it's really good. It's written in 2 storylines. One is the indie group, that's what they're called, and those are the ones that are trying to save the world from the immortals, and the other group which are just kind of trying to get on with their lives, trying to go to the prom and get their first date and hook up with that girl or boy they fancy without dying, because there is ghost-eating zombies in the world. And it's a very good book. A very, very good book. I got this at the Cheltenham Festival. I gave it once again, a full 5 stars. Definitely worth a read. Really good. I read The Marvels. This is such a beautiful book. I loved it so much that as soon as I put this down, I ordered another one of his books, which I'm going to read at some point. For the beautiful illustrations. The first half of the book is done through nothing apart from drawings. Absolutely beautiful. And then the second half of the book is done in writing. But the 2 stories come together. And it was nothing that I would have thought. The way this book is written was amazing. It was a beautiful, marvellous, fantastic, perfect book. It really was. I'm so glad I read it. I'm so glad that I had the pleasure of talking to the author. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Then I read with my son, The Iron Giant. This book is nothing like the cartoon. Nothing! I actually think the cartoon is better. In this, you have the Iron Giant like you do with the cartoon. But that's it. You have a boy called Hogarth, and that's it. You have like a dragon spaceman coming from space trying to eat a tiny village, and the Iron Man saved the world. My son really enjoyed it. Me, not so much. Then I read The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong. This book was so good. I've read so many good books this month. Oh my, I couldn't put it down. I had to ignore everything. I ignored my child. I ignored my household. I just didn't do anything. I didn't eat. I didn't do anything. But I read this book. It is about a girl called Chloe, and she is a normal teenager. And then one day, she starts seeing dead people in her school. She goes crazy. She ends up in a mental house for young kids, but the house isn't what it seems. You want to know why? You need to read the book. But not only does she see dead people, she can bring them back to life. But things are not what they seem to be. How does she get these powers? What's going on in the house? What happens with the friends that she meets? Do they have magic powers too? Where does it come from? Such a brilliant book. It's quite a thick book. A small writing, but it is fast paced. Loads go on. Amazing. I finished this book and straight away I've picked up the second book. I am about 30 pages in, but it's such a good read. I want to know where her powers come from and why there's children in a school like her and why they're collecting her, and it's a good read. And then lastly, I got given an ARC read by Christy Cook. And this book it's a Supernatural Chronicles, The Wolves. Once again, I love this author. This book was such an amazing read. It was fast paced. I read it. I wanted to be there. You follow a young girl, and she is her dad is the pack leader, and he dies. I'm going to tell you how he dies, but he does die, and she has to find out who killed him and why. And he gives her like this task to do, and she doesn't fulfill the task, the world will come to an end. So it's about her trying to fulfill this task and her accepting who she is. It is part of the Soul Savers, I think it is, series. I'm just going to check that. It's part of the Soul Savers series, and you meet some of the old friends in it from the other books, but you don't need to read those books to read this. It's such a good read. When it comes out, you need to read it. Okay, that is my October wrap-up. Thank you so much for watching. Love you all. Bye.